Bitcoin, could we possibly be looking at a roadmap that is showing us exactly where Bitcoin is going? We're going to take a look at that at the end of the video. What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous day. We're going to take a look at the charts, starting out with Litecoin, then moving on to Bitcoin, and look at the price action, where we might be headed and what to look out for. Also, stick around to the end of the video. We're going to look at that Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart, which could be a roadmap to show us where we're heading and why I believe we could hit 46,000 by the end of the year. And with that target for Bitcoin would put Litecoin around 600 to 1,000 by the end of the year. So we're going to take a look at that, see what's going on with it. I do want to remind you guys, we have a 100% free Discord with a great community in there. Definitely check it out. It's in the description box below the video. Also, there's some tip wallets in there. There's a Bitcoin address, a Litecoin address that accepts tips. Also, there's some affiliate links down there. Check them out, guys. It helps the channel out. With that being said, let's get into the video, see what's going on. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it's still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And with that being said, if you're new here, you haven't already, hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen to get you subscribed to the channel. And then tick the notification bell. That'll get you notified when I post new videos, as I do post every day to try to keep everybody updated on the details of what Litecoin and Bitcoin are doing. So don't forget to do that. Smash the likes, guys. Really helps the channel out. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. And let's get into the video, see what's going on. All right, so we've been looking at Litecoin as a cup and a handle with the neckline right here at 1,000. Still looking at that target, guys, 180. Still headed there, in my opinion. And we're going to take a look at the higher targets. If we are to break in here, if you see the yellow lines, this one being the resistance, this one being the support, rising broadening wedge. And if we were to break out right up in here around the 165 range and break above that, my target would be the 273 area. And I also have this trend line drawn in here from these peaks down here when the reversal started from the bear market. And if we were to get up there, this gives us like an idea. It's not going to be exact, guys, of when these prices might be hit. But the 273 would be around September, the middle of September somewhere. If that was to go, if we broke earlier, if we broke this trend line earlier, obviously that would change. The $300 target, which is a measured move if we were to break out up here. And that's if we were to crawl up to our 180 and then break through. That gets us up to $300 range. And that would be around the first couple weeks of October. And again, that's not exact, guys. I don't even like to judge time on the market. But these are my targets. Let's look at the RSI. All right, looking at the RSI, we had a rising channel that we were in all the way from, it started in November, and then we had a falling channel breaking out of the rising channel. I do believe we have a good chance of coming up and retesting the bottom of the channel here and possibly breaking back up in and going to new all-time highs. Let's look at the 4 hours so we get more. All right, so in the 4 hour, looking at the RSI, the falling channel here in yellow, and we had the falling wedge, and then it broke out into a falling channel, into another. And right here could very possibly be a bull flag forming in the RSI, guys. No guarantees, obviously, but if you are following along, draw this in there. And if we do break this line, most likely going to come down and test the bottom of this, which would get us to our lows that we're going to look at in the bearish scenario. But there is a good chance, and I'm going to make this yellow and I'm going to keep it here. There is a good chance this holds and creates sort of a bull flag. And if we did a measured move of the flag pull on that, that would get us right up, back up to this high line in the RSI resistance, where we had almost got it here, went a little above it here. That would be pushing us right back up to that range. Very possible, guys. I do believe that is most likely in the cards. Now let's go into the 4 hour and we'll take a look at the bearish scenario first, and then we'll take a look at the bullish scenario. All right, first off, the bearish scenario, which I think is less likely. The 113's likely. Below that, I think, is a lot less likely, and we'll take a look at how those targets came in. I do want to show you guys. We just looked at the rising broadening wedge here. I do have a blue rising broadening wedge from where it shifted over here also. So if we take a look at the bottom, or the top, no, I'm sorry, the bottom of the blue rising broadening wedge and the top of the yellow rising broadening wedge, we have a channel which we're in right now. Now, looking at the bearish case, guys, the possibility of coming down to that 113 area is still there. That would be the bottom of that channel, and I would expect this to hold if we go down here before continuing up. And if it doesn't hold, my next target is this $100 area, and you can see it was support, resistance, resistance. So there's definitely, you know, confluence in here. And if we measure this, as people were looking at this as a A and then a B and a C forming now, if that was the case, the measured move off that would be at the $100 range. So it's definitely possible, guys. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I do think that this trend line is most likely going to hold and we continue up from here. If not, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But like I said, we're taking a look at the bearish case scenario. So the other measured move I have off of here is measuring this as a B forming now, and then a C. And that would get us down to the around the $90 range. But that one is also less likely. I do have the target at 86.20, and if we go over to the daily chart, that would be right at the 200 EMA, guys, in the daily chart. So that's why that target's there. And then also we do have the $60 target, which we've talked about plenty of times before. It's definitely possible, and how we would get that is take a measured move of this channel and to where we might break down. That gets us in that $60 range, which is the bottom of this rising broadening wedge, which is also the trend line from where the bull market began. And I did say bull market began because I do believe we are in a parabolic bull market. That's why I doubt these lows are going to come in, guys. Now let's look at the bullish scenario. All right, so looking at the bullish scenario, we have, I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Whoa, what happened there? That was weird. All right, so I have a measured move here, looking at this as a triangle. Let me get it over here a little bit. All right, looking at that as a triangle, and if we did a breakout around that 127, that would get us up to the $164 range, guys, which would get us to the back to the top of this channel. And then, you know, we already looked at the measured move. If we broke out there, that would be around the 218 area, right? So, but what I think is most likely to happen is we get up, we test the top of this channel here, bounce around in here, maybe dip back down a little bit and come up to hit our target of the 180. And if we break from the 180, then my target is going to be the 235 range. And notice, guys, how these are going in confluence with the white trend line. And obviously we have our higher target of 300 and so forth. But like I said, that's not the end of the year target, guys. I do believe the end of the year target is still going to be in between the $600 to $1,000 range, as long as the Bitcoin stays on its path to 46,000, which we'll look at the end of the video. Definitely stick around for it. I think you'll be real interested. This channel has been following that since January, guys, and it has been following along beautifully. So let's look at Bitcoin now. All right, taking a look at Bitcoin. And as you can see, the same thing, I had a rising broadening wedge drawn in here in the yellow. And our measured move out that was 96, which we hit a while back. Then we came into this rising channel, broke out of the rising channel. If you guys were following along on here, we had a target of 13.6. We ended up hitting 13.8. We were pretty close, but watching the channel, you would have known that was the time to get out of the market. And let's take a look at our targets here. So as of right now, we'll go into the 4 hour and I'll show you more how I got this 14.7 target. Basically, I could probably do it real quick on the daily, but we'll take a closer look in a 4 hour. Basically, it's looking at this falling wedge here, and then we do the measured move off falling wedge to where we broke out, and that gets us to the 14.7 area. So that is still definitely my target right now for that. Now we'll take a look at the bearish scenario in a little bit, guys, but I want to take a look at these targets and show you how I got them. So looking at a breakout, if we were to come up to the 14.7 and break out from here, we would do a measured move for the first move off of this as a rising channel. Even though we've only had one touch here, I do believe we may come up, hit our target here, and then continue up. But these targets, remember guys, change depending on where these lines get broken. You know, if we move it up here, it all changes. This is why I do updates every day, especially when we do a break. You want to pay attention to what's going on. So definitely don't forget to subscribe and tick your notification bell to get notified when I post videos. I do live streams once in a while also. So anyways, that first target would be the 18.3 area. And then I would be looking at this support line and this resistance line as a bigger rising channel. And if we were to break out, 20,000 is my target off of that one. Then if we look at the big picture, with this being a rising wedge, using this as the resistance up top, bring that to the breakout point. If we were to break out from the 14.7 to $15,000 range, 25,000 is then my target from there, guys. Let's look at the daily. Well, first of all, I do want to show you this parabolic character that we're having here. I have these channels drawn in here. You see a falling channel here after our bottom over here. Then we got into another channel with a rising channel, and then we got into another rising channel, broke out of that into a more parabolic rising channel, and broke out of that. Very possible we form another parabolic channel here on a steeper angle than we have here and continue our move up. Like I said, I am 100% certain that we are in a parabolic market that's not ending anytime soon, guys. All right, so let's look at the daily RSI. See how that's looking. All right, so since the December, when this rising channel started forming, we had followed it. And if you guys want to know where all the other lines came from, look back in the videos, and you'll see we've been calling these prices all year. It's been working out great. So anyways, looks like we had a triple top on this line here. And where we're at now, excuse me, guys, we were in a falling channel coming out of the rising channel and broke back up in. There was a inverse head and shoulders formed here. We had watched that. And now we looked like a head and shoulders formed here. So it is possible we come back down and test this trend line again in the daily. So that could mean we're in this price area for a while, but that doesn't mean the price has to go down, guys. And I'll show you what I mean here. As you see, this trend line right here, the top of this channel, is the top of the channel here. Now this one's going down, this one's going up. If we keep bouncing on this and getting higher highs, and we bounce down this and higher lows, and then we're bouncing on this, getting lower lows, that's hidden bullish divergence, guys, which is very bullish. And if we stay on top of this trend line, we could go way up. So let's go into the 4-hour RSI and take a look at what's going on there. And you guys that watch the channel, you know I don't believe in all the indicators. I think it's a bunch of noise. You don't need that stuff. Keep it simple. So, all right, looking at this as a rising wedge, we're looking at this as a possible inverse head and shoulders, which arguably could be still forming and a break of this yellow trend line here, or we come down to test the bottom of this, and we'll look at that in price action here in a little bit. But we also have a rising broadening wedge here, actually just a broadening wedge in the RSI, so it's kind of symmetrical. But either or, this could be very bullish if we break up out of this, and we'll look at that in the price action and see what's going on. We're going to take a look at the bearish scenario first, guys, then we'll take a look at the bullish. All right, so we've had this target down here around the 8,900. Do I think we're going to hit that? Probably not, but it is possible, which this would be a falling broadening wedge. And if we're to continue up from here, I drew this little bull flag in here, which is a possibility, guys. And the measured move off of that would be, depending on where we break out the top, the measured move on that would be somewhere around the yearly high, which is right around the 14.1, and I'll put a target in there just in case, but I do believe this one is more relevant, and I'll show you why in a minute. But I do want to put a label there so you guys can see it. Okay, that's the breakout of this as a bull flag. Now, the other target I have up there, the 14.7, that is the width of this being resistance, this line being support of a falling broadening wedge, and that would get us up to that 14.7 area. Now obviously, guys, it doesn't go straight up like this. It would be more like over here, and that would get us to touch the top of this white trend line here. But like I said, I'm gonna look at the bearish scenario also. So in the bearish scenario, we've looked at that in the daily, and if we did a measured move, I don't know where my measured move went. Wonder if this one fits. Nope. All right, let me draw it in there real quick. Actually, it's right here. Yeah, this would be the measured move. If this was A, then B, and then we're forming C now, that would be right down to the 8,900 range. I do not believe that that's what's happening anymore, guys. I never really did believe it. Just a lot of people are saying it. But it is possible we come down and test this trend line again around the 10,008 range, right in there, before continuing up. But if that breaks, then obviously we're looking at our lower targets. I would look for support here also at around the 10.1, which would be the 200 EMA here. But again, guys, I'm pretty confident this line will hold right here. So let's look at our bullish scenario now. We just looked at these two targets. Now my other targets is if we were to break out using this rising channel, we were to break out above this trend line right in here. And again, guys, these targets can move with, you know, the trend line depending on where it breaks out. So keep that in mind. But as of right now, if we were to break out around the 14.1 range and break above this, come down, probably test it for support and continue up, my target would be the 18.3 would be the first target. And then I would do a measured move off of this resistance and this support being a wider rising channel. And that would get me to the 20,000 range. Then after the 20,000 range, maybe come back down, correct over here, and continue on up to our higher one, which is the 25,000 range. We could even get all the way there before coming back down to correct, and maybe correct into back to the 17,000 range. Who knows? We'll keep an eye on that. That's why I do update videos, guys, to keep everybody informed and kind of give you an idea what's going on in the market, or what I see going on in the market. Now we're going to look at why I believe we could hit 46,000 by the end of the year. Take a good look at this chart, guys, and remember, a pattern is a pattern. Show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. Bitcoin's looking to get some pretty big news anytime now, but according to the charts, and I'll show you why in a second when we look at the gold weekly chart. But if you take a good look at this, take a look at the white trend line here that I've drawn from the support out of the bear market on these first two dips and drew it across. And we are getting support from it right now. We broke through, got support, broke the support, came right back up, and now getting support again. I think there's a good chance this is going to keep holding this support. There's also, from these support lines over here through the bear market, also had this blue line, and I drew that in a gold chart also. Keep in mind down here, Bitcoin hit twice on this bottom trend line before moving up. Now let's look at gold. The same thing. There's the two touches on the bottom trend line. Broke through the blue. And here's our white support drawn across. And I'm going to flip back and forth. This is my end of the year target, at least 46 to 47,000, guys. And you can see why there in the chart. And if you look at this, take a good look at where we're at now and then look at it in gold. The resemblance is just amazing. This thing seems to be our roadmap to what Bitcoin is going to do. Could I be wrong? Yes, but it's looking pretty damn good, guys. And we'll keep track of it, keep watching it every day. And yeah, it's looking beautiful though, guys. No doubt about it. Anyways, let's go into the... And remember, we've been watching this on this channel since January, guys, which is right over, where's January? Right in this area is before we broke out of this wedge drawn here. We have been watching this and comparing it to this chart, and it has played out just beautifully. It's amazing. Anyways, let's go into the RSI and show you what we also were watching since January, which would be right in this area where we were getting our resistance off of this trend line. Now, if we look at the 2013 bull market, and I drew the same trend line down the bear market, we got two touches of resistance before breaking through and starting the bull run. 2017 bull market followed by the bear market, two touches of resistance on that same trend line, guys, before starting the bull market. Anyone that's still saying that they think we're going to see lower lows, I think has got something wrong with them, and they just can't get out of their bear mentality, and God bless them. Anyways, these two arcs I have drawn in here, this is the monthly RSI. This is 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. 4 arrows represent new lows in the RSI before the bull market started. 2017 bull market followed by the bear market. Each arrow represents a new low in the RSI before the bull market started. And there's 4 of them, just like over here. Then if we take a look at what I believe is going to happen, this is just going to be much quicker, guys. Much quicker, much harder, much more fierce arc. So that's where I'm at. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to try to do a live stream later tonight, so definitely watch out for it. I'll try to give a couple hours notice. And if you like the channel and enjoyed the content, please don't forget to subscribe by clicking the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos, as I do post every day, and try to keep you guys updated. Also, take a second out, smash the likes, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the video, guys. I really appreciate it, and have a great day. Hopefully I'll see you tonight. If not, I'll see you in the morning. Bye.